This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs.
Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today we have the top 16 breakdown for Carta Magica's Digimon Regional that happened this past weekend. It is technically in the BT8 meta, but it did not have the new star deck, so that did warp the meta quite a bit, since I think both of those are kind of relevant star decks for the meta. We also have the Twitch VODs too, so if you guys want to rewatch the Twitch, there should be a link in the description as well. Also, this document should be in the description as well for the first 24 hours, though it is member exclusive, so if you are a YouTube member, you can go to the community tab and there should be a link to that. Otherwise, just wait 24 hours and it'll be updated after that. But big thanks to Carta Magica for running this event and also giving me these lists to give to you guys. And again, looking at our pie chart, it is a very slow roll into the BT8 meta, with yellow hybrid and blue hybrid taking 12 of the top 16. X-Antibody, really the only of the decks, the new one to actually hit the scene from there, and then a Beelstar and an Ancient Greymon from there. So we're going to go over one deck from each archetype. We're actually going to probably do a couple extra ones in between. But yeah, I think the best deck in format for a lot of people, or at least one of the groundbreakers, is going to be the new Imperiodramon list, which obviously again cannot use. You could not use in this tournament because Star Deck 9 was not available. But I do think in the next couple of weeks we do have a tournament on June 4th for their regionals, and also another one on June 11th. So both those should have the Star Decks legal, so it should be a little bit different from here. But I do think of the two, I think yellow hybrid is going to definitely stay for a long time. And blue hybrid might be switching to more Imperiodramon route, and Mastamon can be used, and a couple other cards and stuff. Obviously, Armor Rush also is not at 100% because it is losing a Vmon from the star deck that is kind of needed. But yeah, let's just go over the list. So going to our first place list, this is Sam Zhao's yellow hybrid, and this is, I would say, somewhat close to, I don't know, the build for yellow hybrid is pretty standard right now. I think about over half the deck, probably like 35-40 cards are determined, and you just kind of make your choices from there. If I was playing this tournament, I probably would be playing yellow hybrid, and you can see my previous deck profile of what I've been running since then. But yeah, the big kind of ideas is that we do have a little bit of rookies. We do have Salmon and Patamon. The new Rapidmon is amazing for this deck. So it has Armor Purge, but also when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each tamer you have in play, then up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5k for the turn, which means that you're able to, if you have Patamon, you're able to delete something, you can Digivolve this for 3. And it's a 6k, which means it can trade with an 11k, which also means that it doesn't die because of Armor Purge. It goes back into another Patamon, which means you can like trade, and then if you have like another Rapid one, you can go from there. A Rise Greymon, because there are some level 6s you want to kind of go into, and this kind of helps us play our tamers. The new Cody Tamer, I think, is amazing for yellow hybrid. Just being able to get that extra 1 memory is good. I think it's a little bit better than TK Kari. And then if you do have some multicolored cards, you're able to get something -2. In this build, it's only Rapidmon, but we do see some other builds with like Ophanimon, which can get that, or even the new Shakuamon. So there are, some interaction points there. Shine Greymon and Dynasmon are the top end for this build too, using more of like the destruction for Shine Grey, and also the Dynasmon to kind of be really obnoxiously hard to kill sometimes. 1 Susanamon. Also, the Rise Grey is great because it also can give Scary Attack +1 to either of these boys. And then from there, 1 Reinforcing Memory Boost, 1 Yellow Memory Boost, and 2 Tactical Retreat. So not a lot of yellow options in that security. I do like Tactical Retreat. The fun combo I always like is to go into Jet Sophie, Tactical Retreat it, and then Zoe to find it again. It's very obnoxious, and it just helps you get more of your recovery, and Jet Sophie Mon is just such a good card for a while. So I don't think yellow hybrid is going anywhere once the star deck's getting released, and it's probably one of the best decks in the format from my point of view. Moving on, we do have blue hybrid, and this is almost entirely a BT8 list or BT7 list. I think this is the newest card. So, Innocence Blizzard, main, trash the bomb evolution card of all your opponent's Digimon. Then up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon with no devolution cards can't attack or block until the end of your next turn. So it's more of the stun that this deck is known for. The kind of big thing, I don't know, the only kind of change I would say from this is the fact that there's like a Susanamon and like a little bit more higher end. But yeah, this deck has been doing so well for so long, and especially in a format where we don't have like all the new cards, and I think this is just still a strong deck for a while. And even though like I don't know, I think a lot of people thought we'd transition away from it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I think maybe people would switch to Imperadramon because it's a little bit more aggressive than mid-range than this build, but I think it's good. So yeah, this is Jacob's list. I also did want to just cover two more because they're blue hybrid, but they're a little bit different. So 10th place, we do have Hanson Limbs. This is more of the red-blue version of it, and also kind of goes up the Bond archetype too. So a little bit more creative, I would say, with what you're doing. Lightning Dust being able to kind of combo with the Gobble Bond, where you have to have less security than your opponent, but if you do get security attack +1, and since this can attack 2 or 3 times a turn, and you have to get rid of 2 of your security to go into it, the chances of using Lightning Dust to go into it is great. So you can do like, this can do like 6 damage all by itself, and Ty can help you get the activation for that. Otherwise, moderately standard also has the Magna if you need to go into it too on top of your Beowulf, which means you can go Beowulf into Gobblebond if you need to. Probably never saw that, but we've seen this before. Also, we do have Chungmans, who again is the world champion from last year, with their build kind of more focusing on the Magna build with the Koji and everything else. But again, nothing. He played blue hybrid in the worlds. He did well. He played this deck too. He got top 16. Already got his invite for the next national season. And yeah, again, I think blue hybrid is still oppressively very, very strong. Next up, we do have 6th place. So this is Clay Smith's. This is a Beelstar list. Not a lot of change, but more of a meta call for what we're seeing. We obviously do not have 4 of, we have 4 scatter mode, but I am kind of surprised there's not just one regular Eismon in here just for the occasional. But you can see in this list, there are no level 5s at all. You just focus on hard casting the Beelstar and getting the value from there, which means the Intmon is used to re-proc your Beelstars. We do have the new Miss Memory Boost, so trash top 2 cards your deck to draw 1, and then it has delay from there, so you can get the 2 memory. Kind of the tech choice here is kind of the blue package, so 4 of the mat, and then if you have, when you play blue Digimon, which will never happen, you could pop something, but it's more to play the Kikaitis Breath, which is 7 cost, which means you can use it for your procs for Beelstars, play it for free, and then also it returns to hand, which there are some cards with protection right now, so bouncing back to hand is good. And there's just so many good security here. Nail Bones in here, which you can use with like Promote to get like a rush kind of ability. Fly Bullets here. 2 copies of Happy Bullet Showerings. You also do have the Howling Crusher, which is also a 7 cost to just trash all Devolution cards underneath all of your opponent's Digimon, which can be kind of useful, especially since like X-Antibody is doing really well. Like Kai's Breath and Howling Crusher is great against X-Antibody, and just go from there. So kind of an interesting build. I like this build. I think it's very, very cool. So next up, we do have the red. It's kind of like a one-punch Ancient Greymon list, where you just kind of use the you just go up to your chain, you're able to go Ancient Greymon, get like a huge, like you just do all 5 damage all at once with all its abilities. So you can go, you can put a bunch of bodies underneath it. Ty helps you there. Rowdy Rocker, which you have one of, can help you. You swing in, and then you just use your Omnimon from there to get your final swing. So we've seen this before. Nothing I'd say too crazy, but if when you're kind of a more mid-range format where there's not a lot of aggression, especially since like Paildramon would be probably one of the more aggressive decks coming forward when it's not online. Especially to the fact that there's not a lot of great security decks. I mean, Yellow Hybrid, yes, but it's not, I would say, like oppressively. Like Yellow Hybrid has a lot of security, but none of it is really, really good. It's more of just kind of tamers, just kind of set up. So Ancient Greymon is kind of safe to just swing in and do stuff. So I like this build. I'm happy it's doing well. It's going to be interesting if it stays with Paildramon and Mastermon. I don't think this will top again in that format, but I could be wrong. But we'll have to see. So congrats to Tyler there. And the last deck we're going to go over is Joseph Robinson's 9th place X-Antibody. So there were two X-Antibody lists that topped, and I think this is a solid list. And I think X-Antibody is just going to be doing well moving forward. I don't think it's necessarily going to be best in form, but I think it finally has a leg to stand on, because it hasn't. When it first got released, it did not have that. The nude cards of choice are definitely the Yuji. Yuji is fantastic. It's kind of like a bond tamer for like the Gabubond and Agubond. So when one of your Digimon X-Antibody traits move to your breeding area from your battle, you get to gain a memory and draw 1. And then your turn 1 while your black Digimon with X-Antibody attacks, you suspend this to place 1 card with X-Antibody traits from your hand underneath that Digimon. That's its bottom devolution. So there's a lot of great effects you can do there. You can do like the Darurumon, where if you place an effect underneath, you get a gain of memory, which includes itself, which is really nice. Just, I don't think you can put this because it's not X-Antibody, but even like itself and like security attack +1 off Durogreymon, there's a lot of good inheritables. So just the idea of making a really large stack, having a lot of good effects, and doing a lot of damage is kind of the name of the game for this deck. We do have the Dorogoromon from last set, but really the Aruomon from this set is fantastic for the deck. When digivolving, you place 1 card with X-Antibody and its traits from underneath these cards as a bottom of a leash. Devolution cards to delete one of your opponents with a play cost of 7 or less. And one of your effects placed that you can gain this +2 KDP and can't be deleted by your opponent's effect until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, which means that if you put again one of those Duromons underneath it, you get the +1 memory, which means you do it for 1 cheaper, which means you can do this for 3 and keep it your turn, and go from there. We also do have the Breath of the Gods in the text, so one of your cards gain reboot, but and this can't have a DP reduced or return to your standard deck until the end of your opponent's next turn. So just being able to have like a big blocker with this is nice. But also security check your opponent's Digimon can't attack players for the turn. If you're going against a big attack heavy deck, this Breath of the Gods can save you in security. It is a little bit more of cheese in my opinion, since there's not like a lot of ways to guarantee it's in there. But if it hits it at the right time, your opponent's gonna be pretty upset. But that is going to be the video for me today. Again, thank you to Carta for letting me go over these lists. If you haven't checked the VOD out, make sure to check the description. And after 24 hours, this document will be in the description for you guys to check out all the lists too. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it.